All right, we've got a story for you today that honestly feels like it's pulled straight from a science fiction movie. Artificial intelligence has just taken this massive leap into a field that has always felt uniquely human: pure mathematics.
I mean, just think about it. For centuries, the highest levels of theoretical research, the really brain-bending stuff, that was all about human intuition, a spark of creativity and just intense, rigorous logic. Well, that's all changing, and it is changing incredibly fast.
And we're not talking about some fancy calculator here. No. A commercial AI, one you could probably get your hands on yourself, played a central role in cracking an unsolved mathematical problem. This is a first, a really big first.
So this whole event just forces you to step back and ask a monumental question. Are we standing right at the beginning of a totally new kind of scientific partnership? One that could supercharge human progress in ways we can't even really imagine yet.
Okay, let's dive into the details, because this isn't some what-if thought experiment. This is a real-deal breakthrough from a team at VUB's Data Analytics Lab. They actually used a commercial AI as a creative partner to build a brand new mathematical proof.
So here's the breakdown. The team used a large language model to go after a thorny problem related to something called the Ran and Tang conjecture. And the outcome was, well, it was pretty stunning. After a few back-and-forth sessions, like a real conversation, the AI didn't just give them a couple of hints. It actually generated the core structure, the whole skeleton of the final proof.
Now, to really grasp why this is such a huge deal, we need to talk about what they were actually trying to solve. The team was tackling a conjecture, which in the world of mathematics is a very special kind of problem.
You know, the best way to think of a conjecture is like a detective's strongest hunch. It's a statement where all the evidence, all the patterns you can see, everything is pointing to it being true. But no one's been able to build that final, ironclad logical case to prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt.
These things are the mountains that mathematicians spend their entire careers trying to climb. They're born from intuition, from seeing a pattern no one else did. And proving one? Wow, that can sometimes take generations of brilliant minds working together. It's the ultimate test of pure, methodical creativity.
And this lays out the difference perfectly. A conjecture is the quest. It's the exciting adventure fueled by belief and evidence. A theorem, on the other hand, is the destination. It's an absolute, unshakable truth. And turning a conjecture into a theorem, well, that's the name of the game.
This new process was so different, so collaborative, that the researchers actually gave it a cool new name: vibe proving. It's inspired by a term in programming called vibe coding, and it really describes a whole new way of working together.
So here's how it works. It all kicks off with a conversation, a real back and forth between the human expert and the AI. The AI then takes these ideas and just explodes into this vast landscape of theories, exploring possibilities way faster than any human ever could. Then it comes back and basically says, hey, how about this structure for the proof? And this is the crucial part. The human experts come back in to verify every single detail and smooth out any little mistakes.
So what's really important here is that this is a true partnership. This is not about the AI replacing the mathematician. The AI is this amazing tool that speeds things up and explores ideas, but it's the human who provides the insight, the direction, and that final, rigorous, yep, this is correct.
But this raises a pretty big question, doesn't it? How can a machine that's built for language, for words, possibly do high-level abstract math? What is actually going on inside that black box? Okay, so a quick refresher. A large language model, or LLM, has been trained on just a colossal amount of text from the internet. It doesn't understand things like we do. What it does is get incredibly good at recognizing and recreating super complex statistical patterns in language, in logic, in just about everything. So when it thinks about math, it's not really doing math like a person does. It's more like it's assembling puzzle pieces, all the concepts it's learned, into a sequence that just happens to look like a logical proof. Its superpower is exploring the vast space of possibilities almost instantly, and in doing so, it can suggest paths a human might never have thought to check out first. It's like a creativity catalyst.
And this right here is probably the most important thing to remember about all of this. An LLM can spit out arguments that sound perfectly logical but actually have subtle flaws or big leaps in reasoning. That's why the human partner is absolutely essential. They have to be the final judge. The buck has to stop with a human expert.
So let's zoom back out. What does this single event really mean for the future of science? I mean, the implications here they're profound.
Professor Vincent Genovenis from the research team really said it best. He pointed out that we tend to think of AIs as systems that can only repeat or remix what they've already seen. But this experiment, it completely calls that into question, suggesting they can be partners in creating genuinely new and original ideas.
This really feels like a major shift. For years, we've seen AI as a useful assistant, right? Something that can help you write code or summarize a long article. Now, it's actually stepping into the lab, or in this case, up to the whiteboard, as an active participant in the process of scientific discovery itself.
And this is just a beginning. The researchers believe that as these models get even smarter, they might start helping with the verification step too. This kind of synergy is poised to completely transform how we do theoretical research, making the whole process of discovery way more interactive, creative, and just dramatically faster.
Which leaves us with this one final, exhilarating thought. For all of human history, the pace of scientific progress has been limited by the speed of the human brain. Now, with AI as a creative partner, you just have to ask, what seemingly impossible problems in math, in physics, in medicine are we going to solve next?